Philosophy is an activity, a quest after wisdom. Philosophy is a particular unique type of thought or style of thinking. As I get older, I ask myself, what is my purpose in my life? Why am I here? Through these questions, I found philosophy as a door to all my answers. There are lots of philosophy theories out there, but my philosophy of life is like the sport of basketball. Both fields I'm trying to improve on, and learning and gathering knowledge along the way. Philosophy is like holding and dribbling your first basketball. When you first start out, you don't know what you're doing. Your dribbling skills are terrible. The ball is hard to control, basically hard to grasp like philosophy in the beginning. Though it's hard at first, it doesn't mean you can't perfect it. It has potential just like us humans. We have the potential to do good, but in order to do that, we must overcome obstacles and challenges along the way. Philosophy is a hard field to understand. You feel like a stranger in a foreign country. No knowledge of the area, language, and culture. You must be open-minded and ready for things that will hit you out of your comfort zone. My first step in finding my philosophy in life is finding the founders, the pioneers, the Michael Jordan of philosophy, and study and learn their ways. Socrates was the first philosopher I found and captured my interest. His way of questioning things that nobody bothered or thought about opened my mind towards reality. His philosophy gave me a path that I can start my foundation on towards my own philosophy in life. Through him, I found other philosophers such as Plato, who I like to call Kobe Bryant of philosophy. With Plato, I realized what human nature means to me. His human nature relates to me and the sport of basketball. He talks about how the soul drives us to what we can do. He claims there are three parts to the human soul: aggression, appetite, and reason. Aggression is like the driving force for you to win a game. You will do anything, even if it's a clean play or a foul one. Appetite is our desire to win the game and achieve even more. For example, athletes who want to take steroids to enhance their game. And finally, reason, the main control system of the soul. I believe through reason all things are possible and done. Through reason we give things and events a meaning behind it. Like the typical saying out there, everything happens for a reason. According to the cosmological argument, everything has a first cause and event. I believe the first cause in our existence is reason. Like shooting the ball, our reason is to score, which leads towards us shooting the ball to the hoop. But there's infinite reasons before the reason to score, which leads me to my next point about God. There are infinite reasons before our reason to score, but who gave us our first reason? I believe in God, and I support the ontological argument. Since the mind is our strongest asset, the mind alone can tell us that we can't imagine anything greater than God, because God is the greatest possible being that can be imagined. He's the one who gave us our reason. God is like our coach and referee in basketball. He gives us the guide and strength in our lives while making sure that we do it in a good way. He wants us to dominate and win our games, but to do it with respect and humility towards others. Since humans have the tendency to move away from God, we are tempted by evil, but in the end, we are naturally good. A personal divine experience with God shakes us back to reality, and by reality, I mean the true reality of our life. A life together with the ever-loving God. With that being said, God wants everyone to be happy and good. I believe that God wants me to do things that will benefit the greater good. My philosophical theory I adapted for ethics is rule utilitarianism. Since rule utilitarianism promotes actions that lead to the greatest good, or that the rightness or wrongness of a particular action is a function of the correctness of the rule, I believe that some rules are meant to be broken just to aid the people. We are caged in a world full of rules and laws, which is good to control our humanity. But some of the rules that are stitched into our society is not beneficial nor has flaws in it. So if someone's intention of breaking the rule or law was to aid for the greater good, I would agree to the action if I was given valid points to why he broke it and how it is beneficial to the greater good. Real utilitarianism is a great example of unchaining yourself out of the cave. It's a courageous act to do regarding the fact that breaking laws have serious punishable consequences, and most governments ignore your intentions to why you broke the law. But that is life. That is your road to finding wisdom and knowledge. You just have to unchain yourself out of the norm and do what you believe is right in the eyes of God. I'm a realistic type of guy. I don't blame people for anything that I've done. I believe that if you blame people for what you've done, you're not going to improve yourself as a person. But I do stick up to what I believe is right and just. We need to be realistic to things and be aware of our wrongdoings and develop a better way of life. To reflect on one of the most common philosophy questions out there, are we as humanity ever going to find God and true happiness? Well, my answer to that question is yes. We are made in likeness of God. We are meant to be happy and loving creatures. But one of our characteristics as humans is to find greater power than what we have right now. We always search for something better even if it's unnecessary. We never appreciate things that's given to you. Just like Adam and Eve, whom God forbid to eat the apple, but was tempted by her thirst for more power. Once they were caught, they started blaming and pointing fingers to one another for their own mistake. We never accept our wrongdoings and try to make ourselves look innocent just to get the upper hand. If we as a whole banish this concept of egoism, materialism, and searching for more power, and start appreciating the people and things we currently have right now, we would be free from suffering and find true joy within ourselves. And once we do these things and surrender ourselves to God, at that moment, then we will find God and true happiness with Him and within ourselves. But the first step of doing these things is to have faith in yourself and God, because finding God and true happiness, you just need to take that leap of faith. This is my philosophy of life.